Hey everyone, Ham here. All right, second year. Let's check out the garden real quick. Whoa, squash, we have bok choy, celery, tomatoes, strawberries, and peas and cucumbers down here. Now my garden was looking a hot mess. I literally had to CPR it and bring it back to life. Like, so crazy. But yeah, I'm getting all these little, you see? That's all cucumbers, and I'm in trouble because cucumbers and squash, I don't know if you remember from last year, literally take over. So what had happened was I planted things, that crazy rain in April just flooded everything. So I replanted, and then I replanted again, and that last replant, I did one time a Miracle-Gro. I don't like to use stuff like that, but I did it one time. Plus the sun, I built up my mounds a little bit differently, and yes, here we go. You see that celery I'm growing? You see it? I'm trying to get my celery juice. So I'm going to sit in front of my garden for this video because it has to do with the earth. My friend actually just sent me a picture. One of my friends who I've been training with in jiu-jitsu for most of my whole journey. We're about the same rank, and because I've been training so much, my game has just stepped up so much. So the people that you've worked with for the longest amount of time, and you've kind of, it's very foggy, so, hazy, my eyes are gonna be squinting. So the people that you've, built a relationship with, you've built a practice with, like, when they see your game jump up, it's like your mom seeing you get better at something, right? So a friend of mine recently at the at the dojo has been just like beside themselves, because usually how it works is like, he would get good, then I would trail behind him and match him. He would get good, then I'd trail behind him and match him. Now he's at the point where he's stumped, and he's like, what have you been doing? And I'm like, celery juice. Plus training hard, right? So he sent me a picture of him with a bottle of celery juice today, and he's like, oh, it's on. And I'm like, yeah, we'll now do that every day on an empty stomach. 16 ounces, let's see what happens. Catch up to my 3 months worth of it, right? Ooh, starting to drizzle, that's all right. So anyway, today's video is on earthing and being barefoot and getting your kids to run around barefoot outside, right? Now, yes, of course, we live in a society, we live in a world, there's a lot of pollution, toxins, this, that, but things are so fast-paced, things are so technological these days, right? Do it yourself. Go touch the ground. Go put your feet on the ground. It feels good. You feel calm. You actually feel grounded. And people call it grounding, people call it earthing, but essentially it's the practice of getting your feet to physically touch the ground. And what happens is you like absorb like the electrons from the ground, and it's actually like anti-inflammatory. It's been proven not with sneakers, not with socks, like, look it up. I had my notes, but I can't go back, I'm outside in the rain. But earthing and grounding, like your feet hitting the actual earth, the dirt, the grass, right? Feeling that under your feet, under your hands, it's so important just for your mind, let alone like the actual healthy physical benefits that have been proven, right? It's basically, like I said, it's the exchange of electrons through the ground into your feet or like into your body. And like I said, it has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties for your body. Imagine that. Imagine Mother Earth can just heal you like that, or make you feel better, make you feel some kind of way. But aside from all that, and I encourage you to look it up, because obviously I didn't have full in-depth discussion about it just now with bullet points. Because I just kind of woke up, and I love to do these on the fly and, never have my notes in order. But anyway, with that said, why is it just important just to be like touching the ground with your feet on the ground, having your kids, right? So we talked about just actual physical benefits. And then like just separating yourself from technology. Like, I'm here. This is what this is where I live. This is where I came from, right? As a kid, like, we all played outside. We all touched the ground. We all felt the ground. Psychologically, what is it doing for us? It's like, it's bringing us back to our natural selves, to our natural being. And especially like when we feel like we're at a stalemate, we feel like you know, we're in this 9 to 5, we're in this job, we're in this whatever responsibilities like we're, you know, required to have in our adult life. Like, there are just times where you need to reevaluate yourself as a human being. Not a man, not a woman, not a boss, not a worker, not a father, not a husband, not a wife. Like, I'm human, and we all are. And this is like how we are all connected, right? The human race. And there's so many labels, and there's so many like categories. Like we talked about that before, like social media, everything's a like or a dislike. Everything's like put in this category or that category. Why not take a vacation from yourself? Why not take a vacation from your image? Maybe that's the kind of vacation you need. Maybe that's what's gonna settle your mind. But see, nobody wants to admit that or be a part of that because they'd rather go to Turks and Caicos. They'd rather go on a Disney cruise because it seems like it's more fun. But that's just as much stress. That's just as much, sometimes I should say, having to put on a face for somebody, having to act a certain way, having to have a role. So when you start to rethink what a vacation really is, or what being a better person really is, it's not as glamorous, right, as say what maybe you would want it to be. It's not something that you put on social media for likes or dislikes. It's something for you and your soul and your being to acknowledge and to remember, right? Like, we forget. Like, even just now, before I was working in my garden, I was, you know, pulling up some weeds, and even just having my hand in the dirt, it felt good. It felt relaxing. It felt real. And I just was like, it almost like brought me back down to earth. It brought me back down to being like a kid, being more carefree in that way, more like my mind just went like blank, but in a good way. Like, it went to like what I was doing in the moment, feeling the grass, feeling the dirt, smelling the dirt, you know, and focusing on breeding my garden back to life, right? Figuring out like where, you know, this nutrition, this life I'm breeding, you know, for my family. And you know, nature's important. It's sad that it's almost like we have to break up with nature, and we have to break up with things, because a lot of it is going, gone. And I don't even want to get into it because it's that upsetting, and I know it's upsetting to some people to see, you know, the way this earth is turning, and the things that we're not going to be able to leave for our children, although we think it, because we're all stuck in, like, they keep us in this bubble, so we don't know what's happening, but it's happening. So why not right now appreciate the earth? Why not right now appreciate the dirt in the ground, and get your feet on the ground, get your kids' feet on the ground? I mean, I'm terrified of ticks. I'm terrified of like pesticides on the ground, but you can't stop living your life. And then in that instance, just be more hyper aware of like checking for bugs, washing off your feet, you know, if there's pesticides and stuff. And I don't know if I brought up vitamin D in another one. Video keeps getting cut off. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I was watching, Thousands of Roots, shouting them out. It's a homesteader family, and yeah, I really want you guys to take a look at their channel. They're great people. It's a great channel. Thousands of Roots. So anyway, the mother, you know, is trying to heal her babies. 2 of her kids have alopecia, and she was trying to think of different ways to help their hair to grow, you know, just for them to be healthier. And after all her research, after all her, you know, doing and figuring things out, she discovered that vitamin D from the sun was the best way to get your hair to grow. Particularly when you have a short shadow. That's the best time it's like at 50 degrees something, she was saying, the best time for you to absorb that vitamin D, right? And that's the best way for the human body to absorb it and to have it. So she found out that at that 50 degree, whatever it was called, basically essentially when you have a short shadow. So when your shadow is shorter than you. And she said some research had said, you know, now don't shower for 24 hours. And she said, new research said don't shower for 48 hours to get the full intense absorption of vitamin D. Like over vitamin D vitamin or pill or something, like that's the best way for your body to get it. Now a lot of us, you know, go to the gym and stuff, so we can't take 2 days not to shower, but if you have the opportunity to, try it out. Maybe that's something that'll help you boost your energy, help your hair to grow. It's something I want to try. Unfortunately, I go to the gym every freaking day, so on those mats I'm not trying to get, you know, staph and MRSA, so I do have to take a shower afterwards. But when I get the opportunity, I try to let myself go a little bit when I know I'm not doing anything or going anywhere, to try to really get that vitamin D, because that's so much more important, right? So, bugs and crazy stuff out in nature, right? So essentially, my last point, now that I'm gonna have to edit this all together, my phone's been weird lately. I don't like that. You know when your phone starts crashing, see technology, it's like, oh, it must be because I'm due for an upgrade. Funny how that works, right? So, yeah, just I've noticed, and I've taught my daughter that it's healthy, and I always let her go around barefoot outside. Now obviously if I think there's glass or something dangerous, then, like, you know, we use caution, but every opportunity we get, we try to be barefoot. We try to play in the dirt, play in the grass, you know, and I really do encourage everybody to do the same, right? Look up earthing, look up grounding. It's a real thing. It's a real thing, and it might just help your natural immunity for the future, and you know, when winter comes and the ground's too cold to walk around on. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. Sorry if I was fast talking you. I kept getting distracted. People everywhere, video shutting off, but you guys are absolutely beautiful. Stay happy, stay healthy. I really like your hair today. Good job. Is that a new shirt too? Yeah, it's really nice. Good choice. You have good taste. All right, see you in the next one. Bye guys.